Hey, how's it going everyone? Brian here with another Java game programming tutorial. So the last time we left off, we tinkered with our clock class so we can slow down time and stop it and reverse it and speed it up. And I said that we had a poll going on where you guys could vote on what we worked on next. And out of the three options, the main menu option is what came out on top. So maybe I'll put the poll results on the screen somewhere so you guys can see. I believe the main menu got half of the total votes out of the three options. So that is the road that we're going to go down next for development. So to do this, if you can imagine right now, our game only has one state. And I guess because we actually have a class named game, I'll say our program only has one state, and that's the game state. So when we run our program, it just kind of throws you into it. It's like, oh, okay, here you go immediately. There's enemies coming, there's a map. All of it is already started. We kind of like enter the story midway through. And so in order for us to have, like, say, an editor part of the program and a menu part of the program and an options menu and stuff like that, we actually need to completely bypass this entire game class. So we're going to create another helper that will kind of organize our program into different states. And this is a pretty common way to do games in general, actually. We're going to name it StateManager. And the reason it's in our helpers package is because we put classes in the helpers package that mostly have static variables and static methods. Like you can see in our artist, we have a static variable for width and height, and static methods like draw texture, because these are methods that are needed in multiple classes throughout the game. So we make them static so that they're easily accessible to other classes. So let's go back to the state manager here. And at the top here, we're going to make our static variables first off. So we're going to say public static enum. We're going to name it game state. And then make a bracket and a closing bracket. And an enum is short for enumerator. And it's kind of like making your own variable in a sense. So we actually have seen it before, if you'll recall, in our tile type class. This is an enum. The entire class here is just one enum. And we have the different types: grass, dirt, water, and null. In our state manager, we're going to make the types of main menu, game, editor, and that's probably it for now. We can add more later. And then down here, some more variables. Pretty much one of everything that we just made right here. So public static main menu, public static game, and public static editor. So we want our state manager to be like this overarching class that looks at what part of the program we're in and then updates that section of the program. So it needs a copy and a reference to the main menu, the game, and the editor, and it can kind of decide what part of the program we're in and updates that part of the program as we're using it. So obviously the main menu class doesn't exist, and neither does the editor. The game one does. We just need to import it. But let's go to make those other classes. So in our data package, just hit new class and name one main menu, and then make another one. Oops, an interface. New class and name it editor. Alright, so now we just need to import these real quick, and our errors should be gone. Perfect. Oh, I actually forgot. We actually need one more, the most important one. Public static game state. There we go. And now we're going to make our update method. Public static void update. And our update is pretty much just going to be a switch statement. So switch for our game state. And the way this works, I believe we've used these before, but in case you forgot or not familiar, every time we update, we're going to look at what the game state is equal to. It can be equal to any of these three things. And then we're going to do something based on whether it's the main menu or the game or the editor. So inside of this switch statement, we make cases. So we say case main menu, colon. And in here is what we want to happen when the game state is equal to main menu. So for now, we're going to check, first off, if main menu is equal to null, meaning it doesn't exist, then main menu equals new main menu. So this will only happen the first time we run the game, and that is just to create our main menu. And then right below that, we're just going to say main menu dot update, which does not exist yet, and then break. And break is how you end one of the possibilities of a switch statement, so we know that we're done working with the main menu, and we're going to work on the next thing now, which is case game. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say if... Actually, you know what? I'll go into this later, but we can't do the game part right yet. So we're just going to put a break here, and we can fill it in later. And then same with the editor. Case editor, and put a break, and we will fill that in later. First, let's make the update method for our menu now. So inside the main menu class, we are going to set up the variables. We need a texture, private texture background, and go ahead and import texture from slickutil. And we'll make the constructor public main menu, and the update public void update. And the main menu is going to need access to our artist. So at the top, we're going to import static helpers artist, put an asterisk at the end so we can get everything. And in the constructor here, we are going to set our background texture equal to quick load main menu. And now you might be wondering, well, what is the main menu texture? And now you might be noticing I have it right here. So I kind of cheated and put it in here before the episode started, but this main menu texture is available in the video description. So if you want to, you can go ahead and pause and download it there, or you can make your own, because this one is custom, and obviously you might want to change it to whatever you want to change it to. Just make sure that the dimensions are the same as the width and height of our screen, which is found in the artist class 1280 by 960. So you can make your own, or you can use the one I have. It's just temporary, and it doesn't look that good, but just to get it to work. Anyway, once you have your texture, load it and set it equal to the background. And after you do that, go to the update, and all we're going to do is draw quad text background at 0, 0, because we're starting at the top left. And for the width and height, it's a little tricky here, and it's very temporary. So if you'll recall, the way we're doing this, we're kind of like iterating and improving our code as we go. So this is by no means the final solution for our main menu. It's very, very, very bare bones. We're just trying to get to work. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like you guys have heard me say this enough times. But for now, we're going to put 2048 by 1024. And so the reason for this is that OpenGL has some issues that rendering textures that are not factors of 2. So, such as our width and height. So, we're going to render it at a larger size, but it should fit the screen perfectly. And we're going to come back to this, and we're going to fix this and spruce it up and stuff. For now, we're just trying to get to draw to the screen, even though it's not the correct size. We're kind of cheating in a way, but we will come back and fix this and make it correct. We just need to make a custom drawing method that interacts with OpenGL and can kind of get past this limitation. But for now, I think this should work. So let's go back to our boot class here. And the reason, by the way, since we're here, that we couldn't, in the StateManager, the reason that we can make a new main menu, but we cannot make a new game, is because our game takes a map. And right now our map is, in our boot class, this huge thing. So we could, like, kind of finagle our way and pass it to another class and get it in there somehow, but it's not very clean, because we can totally do it right the first time with the map. It's not, super hard or out of the way. We just need to get our editor set up first that can load and save maps to files, which we might actually start next time. We'll see. For now, we're going to comment out the update, and we're going to comment out the game initialization, and instead we're just going to call StateManager dot update. And if it worked, we should see... Oh, wow, it didn't work. Great. Null pointer StateManager 19. So line 19 of StateManager is... Oh, we never set game state at the start. So we'll declare it on line 13, at least for me. Set public stack game state equal to game state dot main menu. That way it starts with a value of main menu so we can go through here and make our main menu. So let's try that again. All right, and now we got our main menu. So for right now, like I said, this is a very temporary picture, so don't make fun of my Photoshop skills in the comments. I just took a screenshot of our game and overlaid some text or whatever. What we could do eventually, actually, that I'm thinking right now, is, you know, some games, like in the main menu, they have the actual game playing in the background, like actual stuff happening. We could do that eventually. It wouldn't even be that hard. But that is definitely for not this episode. That is for a future episode. So I believe we are done this time. I think next time, and I know, like I said at the beginning, our game is definitely objectively worse now than when we started this episode because we can't even play anything. To play it, you'll need to just uncomment this, and then comment this out. But it's just temporary. And because next time what we're going to do is we're going to implement a button class. We're going to make our own buttons, and one will lead us into the game, and then we'll be able to play the game just like normal, and one will lead us to the editor, and we'll make like a quit button or something like that. So I know it doesn't seem like we did a lot this episode because, you know, the game hasn't changed that much, but we've actually done a lot of behind the scenes, like kind of framework setting up with our game state manager, which is really, really important, and it's going to come in handy very soon when we start making the editor and stuff like that. So unfortunately, the episodes where we don't do a lot of changes, like we don't do a lot of code, and the game looks totally different, like the first time we made a tower, or the first time we made an enemy, those kind of become more rare as the game development continues. Obviously, you know, when we're on episode like 80, you can't all of a sudden have these life-changing episodes where we implement some brand new thing. You know, it's mostly just small iterations and getting better and better and better and improving our game little by little. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.